710 ESPN Seattle presents Brock and Salk's Wrap-Up.
Powered by the law offices of Heidi Hunt.
Steve Sarkisian and the Huskies have a pretty darn good National Signing Day. After losing out on a couple guys early, they bounced back in a big way. So, Brock, what was the one decision that got them to this point? I'll ask you that question next. When the Huskies made their coaching decisions a couple of weeks ago, Brock, it really appeared as if what happened with their defense was absolutely at the forefront of the reasoning for why they did what they did. The defense was, in a word, atrocious last year, not up to par where it should have been. All of a sudden on National Signing Day, you start looking at what's happening and start looking at the ebb and flow of the recruiting process, and it seems like maybe there's a little more to this.
Well, you talk all the time, and I think rightfully so, about trying as best you can to be ahead of things. That's what Moneyball was all about, right? It was their strategy was ahead of everybody else, and I think Steve Sarkisian looked, as you said, not only at a defense that was struggling, but recruiting class at that point in December. I mean, those guys know, and guys like Sarkisian, they're such good recruiters, they can cut through, and I think he had a sense at that point that Garnett really liked Stanford, that USC and the bright lights and the Hollywood nature of USC was going to be attractive to Zach Banner, and not only was he going to lose some in-state kids, if he wasn't careful, this was going to be a very difficult class to put together. So I give Steve Sarkisian some real credit for all the talk that we had about Tosh Lupoi and these coordinators and being great recruiters. Steve Sarkisian, I think, had a sense for what was coming, that he was going to lose some of these in-state kids, and I better do my best to kind of knock out, you know, two birds with one stone. Not only do I improve my defense, and I think a Wilcox and a Lupoi will help me there, well, these guys are also really good recruiters with great relationships, and it's paid dividends here late in recruiting.
What
What if he hadn't made that move? What if maybe even if he had made the change at defensive coordinator, right? Maybe even brought in Wilcox at that position, fine. What if he hadn't brought in Tosh Lupoi? What if he hadn't made that moves? What are we talking about today?
Well, I don't think there's any way you get Shaq Thompson. And I don't think there's any chance in the world you get him. He's a guy with great relationship to both Wilcox and Lupoi, the five-star kid that by all accounts is going to come in here and play, that has helped really soften the blow of losing some of your in-state kids and probably a number of other ones that you've seen switch from Cal that have been committed other places. So, yeah, not only defensively is he bringing in a Wilcox to really change the scheme to get these freshmen in and ready to play, well, it looks like it paid dividends hiring these guys to help in the recruiting process, too.